Hello and welcome to the Urban Mixture right here on Ghana Streams. My name is Nick Sarsah. Well, today on the show, we'll be having a great interview with the great minister of the gospel, as well as trending stories coming your way. Well, today, let's enjoy some trending stories. But holding on to faith, you know. Okay, so to the trending stories for today, Joe Metal has released visuals for one of the mighty songs of his Wind of Revival album, and it's titled Hide Me. Hide Me. Well, you can check the song out on YouTube, but Hide Me is a song from Joe Metal's Wind of Revival album, and it is a masterpiece written and arranged by Joe Metal, which brings a whole new impeccable ballad experience with the listener. Well, the song features award-winning American gospel writer and artist Jonathan Nelson, and was performed and recorded live at the Joe Metal annual Praise Reloaded gospel concert in June. What has made the song stand out is the fact that it's a superb collaborative skill from both artists on this duet, and the sweet and harmony offered by the Love Gift Singers, that's official backing vocalist of Joe Metal. And again, to another story, Tim Godfrey has released the Nara album finally. Do you know that song, Nara Kilimo? Yeah, that song. The album is finally being released. Well, multiple award-winning Nigerian gospel singer Tim Godfrey has finally released his brand new album titled Nara, which features some renowned gospel artists all around the world. Dr. Tim Godfrey, as part of his 40 years birthday build-out, comes up with this on Monday, August 26th, as he released the much anticipated 13-track album that contains the viral and award-winning song Nara, which features Travis Green. He took to social media to make this announcement that it is a great day today, family. I'm super glad to announce the release of my latest project, the Nara album. Okay, so this is just the trending stories on our entertainment front, where we bring to you live on the Urban Mix Show. And it looked as if there was no way out, but you ran away and was standing here. Okay, so remember to follow us on our social media platforms on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter, YouTube at Ghana Streams. Now let's get closer and have a chat with our guest on the show for today. Well, welcome, great minister of the gospel.
Thank you, my brother.
Okay, so before, I just don't want to mention your name. I want you to introduce yourself to our listeners on the show.
Hi, everyone. My name is Minister Robert Sakite.
Okay, so Minister Robert Sakite, that's his name. Now, to start off this whole interview for today, this is what I want you to do for me. Tell me, how did music start for you? Was it a calling, or it was a passion you've always loved to do?
Music, as far as gospel is concerned, is a calling.
Okay.
To me.
It's a calling to you.
It's a calling to me, because growing up, let me say that it's a calling as well as a passion, because growing up, it has been something that God laid upon my heart, and as far as it's a gift, if God gives to you, He adds everything to it. Okay. And therefore, I don't see it just to be like a calling or just a passion that I seek to pursue, but it's also a gift which have grown over the years.
Okay.
Through mentorship, and through learning, and a lot of training have gone into it to have come this far. So a lot have gone into bringing me this far, and I don't take it for granted. So I must say that it's a calling as well as a passion.
So mentorship, learning. So let's go straight to it. Who is your mentor in this industry?
Growing up, I used to listen to Joe Metal a lot.
Joe Metal, wow.
Yes, I used to listen to Joe Metal a lot, and even as it is now, I still listen to him.
Okay.
But to top it up, I've also been listening to Pastor Isaiah Ofosukwache Jr.
Okay.
He's been one of the great ministers in the gospel fraternity.
Okay.
And therefore, he's one of my major mentors.
Okay.
As well as Joe Metal being my
So growing up, you used to listen to Joe Metal a lot.
Yeah.
So let's go back to your childhood. Did you imagine or did you see yourself doing what you're doing now whilst you were a child, a kid?
Yeah, like I said, I have always seen myself doing this.
Okay.
Because my upbringing has always been, even though I'm not a pastor's son,
okay,
or let me say that a pastor's son, let me put it that way. Even though I'm not a pastor's son, I have always found myself in the mission house.
Okay.
Because I grew up, I actually discovered myself at the Pentecost.
Okay.
At the time, I was, let me say, more closer to my Pentecost pastor.
Oh, okay.
That was the United Pentecostal Church.
Okay.
Of Ghana.
Okay.
So
which branch was that?
That is Bubuashi branch.
Okay. Sure.
So when from school you don't find me home, then you should see me at the mission house or at the church.
Okay.
Either running errands for my pastor, or playing at the church premises, or learning music. Because that is where I discovered myself. Let me say, that is where my gift started manifesting.
Okay.
Yes, the music gift started manifesting.
Okay, so we can say you are a church rat, kind of, you know.
Exactly.
Okay, so he's not a rat, but we are just saying, you know, literally church rat situations, but don't worry. Okay, so your music career, how has it impacted your life as Minister Robert Sakiti?
A lot.
Wow.
A lot.
Share with us.
I don't take it for granted, because I know how far this ministry have brought me, and the doors that this ministry has opened for me. The Bible says in the book of Proverbs that a man's gift will bring him before great men and open more doors for him. And therefore, I know that God through this ministry has done a lot for me. I've been through a lot as far as life is concerned, but one thing I console myself in is the fact that I find myself in the house of God every now and then doing the work of God.
Okay.
And but the Bible says that if we seek to do that which God has entrusted us with, He would also do that which we ask of Him. That He says the desires of the righteous shall never be cut off. And therefore, haven't found myself in this very ministry, which I know that is a ministry before God's own heart, doing it with all seriousness and with all diligence. I know that God will definitely fulfill His purpose and will concerning my life, and therefore this ministry has really impacted my life. Growing up, so growing up, I went through a lot as far as school is concerned. And if I should go down memory lane, I could say that. I could say that I haven't really achieved much in terms of academia. But I know that God, in His own wisdom, had a plan, and therefore my focus hasn't really been that much on academia. Even though I know that it is part of the race, but God has been faithful. He has been faithful because He's opened a lot of doors. He's opened a lot of doors. He's taken me places, and I know that He's going to take me to more places because He has a purpose. And one thing I've always focused is my divine purpose, which is my number one focus, my divine purpose. So if I seek to achieve that, every other thing will be added onto me. So I'm not in a hurry, but I know that in God's own time, He will make everything beautiful.
Okay, so Making it beautiful in the sight of men. Family is also a factor. How has the family supported your ministry?
Family has been of immense support.
Wow.
Because my mother has never stopped me from going to rehearsal.
Okay.
My father has been the tough type growing up, because I'm from a family of 5, and I mean we are all boys.
Okay.
I'm a family of 7. I'm from a family of 7.
Wow. 7.
Yeah, I'm from
1,
a family
2,
of 7.
3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
Yeah,
7 boys.
5 boys.
5 boys. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Wow. Wow.
So
5 boys.
you can understand how hard and tough we are, and the kind of tough time we give our parents. Notwithstanding that, I have always been the mommy's boy.
Okay.
Kind of.
Okay.
Because my mother really loves me, and I love her too. Because my mother has always been my backbone, regardless.
Okay.
I love my dad too, but my mother has always been my backbone, because she saw that greatness in me. She saw that within me. I remember back in the days when I completed JHS. My mother, my father had issues with work, and then I had to drop out for a while. I had to stay home for a while before I continue with my secondary school education. And then my mother could just look at me in the eye and say that, Robert, amongst all my sons, you are the brightest. Because my mother knew what I had within. She knew what I carried. So she always motivated me. And it wasn't like I didn't do well. I did well, but it was financial problems here and there. So I had to stay home for some time. And the devil has his own way of doing things. He really delayed a lot of things as far as my life is concerned. But it is better late than never, because God always has a better plan. And I never gave up, because even around during that time when my friends always go to school, they come back, they're like, Robert, aren't you going to school? And I'm like, no, my mom says I should wait. My father says I should wait. So I am waiting. So in God's own time. And I was still doing God's work, because I was actively in praise and worship team when I was in the United Pentecostal Church. I was actively in the choir. Wow. And one of the names they used to call me at the time is Nobo Nketia, and secularly they called me. Yeah, secularly they called me Kwade, but then I don't know, but that was one of the names they called me. They used to call me at the time, and I knew God was up to something, because I was always in the house of God. I was always actively in church. If you go to the house, you don't find me. You find me in the church. And my mother never stopped me from going to the church premises. My father sometimes was really hard on me, but I sneak out and then go, because I mean that is where my passion is. You see, doing the work of God, and I love it. I remember sometimes as tender as I was, around the age of 9, 10 thereabout, I go to the nearest church called CAC, Christ Apostolic Church, and I lead adults. Wow. I lead adults, like we are doing like kind of a music age. Wow. A music ministration kind of. And I lead them. We sing for a long time. So for me, family has played a lot of role, and it is all because my mother believed in me, my father believed in what I have, my brothers believed in what I have, and they have all contributed to how far I have come and where I am going.
Sure, exactly how far he has come and where he's going. Okay, so now let's move back to the music. So tell me, how would you describe the kind of music you do? Would you say it's contemporary? Would you say it's urban? Would you say it's traditional?
The kind of music I do, funny enough, I can't pick one out of the many you've mentioned. Because everybody who knows me knows that I am the go-getting type. Like I am the versatile type of person.
So you can switch to it.
So I am just open to every genre. But I'm more comfortable with the local kind of worship and contemporary.
Local kind of worship and contemporary. Yeah,
because where I am now, we are much more into contemporary and local kind of worship.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Sure.
that is not Kanishi Assemblies of God.
Okay.
So let me just
Okay.
say that
Okay.
I specialize in that for now, but I am
You're
versatile.
Okay,
Yeah.
sure. All right. So, do you do music full time?
No.
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 Wow. So how do you balance? And you work as so that means you do work and you do the music as well. So how do
Yes.
you balance this?
It's a really tough thing. It's a really tough thing.
Oh, I thought that's much.
Growing up, like I said, I always like to go down memory lane because if I am to say everything or I am to go down really, really deep into memory lane, a lot of things will come to play. But let me just try to cut the long story short. I have been a type who has been like who has been like getting what he wants by all costs. Growing up, my mom has always my mom is a trader. She sells.
Okay.
And my mom is a trader. She sells. And back in school, I used to take orders from school.
Wow.
And then I go and present the orders to her.
Wow.
And then she gets me the food.
And you deliver.
And then I deliver to my mates.
Wow.
So even as I was in school, I was doing business.
Yeah, businessman.
I was doing business. So that should say that God always had a plan. I sometimes we don't understand why certain things happen at a tender age. But at this point in time, I look back and I tell myself that all those things made sense.
Yeah.
Because if at that point of my stage, my age, I could take orders from students, go to my mom or watch a seller, and then present the orders to her. She furnished me with the food, and then I go and present to them. I give to them. God was up to something. It was a training ground.
Yeah, sure.
So, what am I saying? I have worked with a few people after school, and here I am also doing my own business.
Okay.
I'm a business person.
No.
I'm still learning in the business terrain, and so, but I try as much as I can to balance business and ministry.
Okay.
Because ministry is a heartbeat.
Right.
It has always been a passion and it has always been a heartbeat.
Sure.
And I always tell people who are really closer to me that my ministry is my life.
Okay.
Regardless.
Okay.
I know very well, and for those who know and for those who have heard of me, or if a couple of prophecies concerning my life can testify that my life is all about music and ministry.
Sure. Okay, so whilst we were talking, you said you're a businessman. What kind of business do you do?
I am into office hygiene supplies.
Okay, hygiene. Okay.
Office hygiene supplies.
Office hygiene supplies. Okay.
Yeah, and then I am also into cleaning services.
Okay, so you heard him. Yeah, he's into office hygiene supply and cleaning services. So definitely, it's up to you. If you need one, you can contact him. Okay, so to your music, back to your music career. What are some of the achievements you've achieved for yourself so far?
Achievement?
Okay.
I've achieved quite a few.
Okay.
To my credit.
So let's do it this way. In terms of the musicians we rank on A in this industry, have you had any affiliations with any of these, and have you done something with their ministry, as in backing, as in playing something for them or anything like that?
Okay. I haven't had anything to do with any of the ministers that are at the top as of now.
Okay.
Because my ministry is still young.
Exactly.
And I'm not in a hurry to do anything with anybody.
Okay.
However, I am under supervision and direction.
Okay.
And so I am not in a hurry to do anything with anybody as of now.
That's beautiful.
we're still praying and we're still working on things.
Okay.
At the right time, we will get it done.
Okay, so to some platforms you've mounted, what are some of the highlights on these platforms you can give us? Like these platforms you mounted, there are certain programs that run annually, and it has become a flagship program that people are so much aware of these programs. You might have mounted a few of them. How was the experience like?
Okay, so I want to throw light on a few of them, because I can't recall everything.
Sure, exactly.
However, I would want to throw light on a mega praise with the Wager Assemblies of God district, which is an annual program they've been having. And I have been a main artist on that program. Consecutively.
So how's the experience been?
And the experience has been great.
Wow.
It has been great.
Wow.
And funny enough, I don't know, but some way somehow the turnout keeps increasing.
Wow.
And almost every year that I find myself on that platform, there's something unique. Something unique just happens. I remember the last time I was there, the whole place was kind of heavy. It was really heavy. A lot of ministers came to the platform, came to minister. But for some way, somehow, as soon as I mounted the platform, the whole atmosphere changed. And people just started manifesting, putting themselves into what was happening, as in the worship and praise mood. I had a few testimonies here and there, and also encountered a few people here and there. One thing I will never forget about one guy who got closer to me. He was like, "Minister," that was after I had finished ministering.
All right.
He walked to me and then he just knelt before me, and he just told me, "Minister, I heard of you last year, and I have been anxiously waiting to encounter you because I have heard of you, and people have told me that you carry something, and so I wanted to be impacted." So after he spoke with me, he was like, he has truly felt that which people were saying about me. And so I told him, "What is it that you felt?" He said he felt the presence of God.
Wow.
And there I just burst into tears, because I've had a few encounters here and there. I've had a few experiences here and there. But for him to have come to me and knelt before me, and he was crying, wanting to have that kind of impartation for me, so he could also minister like I do. And that is how his speech went. Like, he was like, "Minister, I want to minister like the way you do. How can I go about it?" And I just told him, "Brother, you only need to stick to your God.
Wow.
Know him for yourself.
Wonderful.
And he will give you what you desire." So it comes with hard working, which is prayer and fasting.
Wow.
And only God knows the amount of prayer and fasting that I've gone into, whom I have become now. And therefore, I don't take it for granted.
Wow.
Yes. One other experience I won't joke with. At my mother church, North Kanishi Assemblies of God, just about 2 weeks ago, Bishop Ajiman visited North Kanishi Assemblies of God. Bishop Kwekwajiman visited. And he's one of the greatest ministers I've ever worshipped with, I've ever ministered alongside with, because he loves worship. And North Kanishi Assemblies of God people will tell you that I am somebody, if you leave me to have my way, we ain't closing the service. We ain't closing.
Overtime minister.
Yes, because I love doing what I do best.
Wow.
One time, service was ongoing, and somebody was seated. One of the my was seated. She was like, "Robert, don't you get tired singing?" And I just look at her. I was like, "Mommy, I don't know, but for me, I don't know when I'll ever get tired unless my voice is broken."
Okay.
But aside that, hey, I'm all over. You see, and that is me. I love doing it, and so that was a bit. That was a bit digression from
exactly
the main thing. Bishop Kwekwajima, God bless you wherever you are for believing in my ministry. I encountered him last year, and this man really fell in love with my ministry because we had an unending worship service. We couldn't stop worshiping, and it only happens when you are connected to a man who loves worship. And he allows you to be yourself, and explore.
Exactly.
So this man really loves worship, and I love working with him. Last year's experience was something else, and so this year when he came, I was so happy, and thank God that this year's experience was beyond imagination, even to the extent that he brought along his worship leader from Belgium.
Wow.
And this worship leader, bless you, Abigail, wherever you are. Regards to everybody. Abigail is such an awesome minister, but Abigail also testified to the fact that my ministry blessed her on that very day of worship service.
Wow, that's wonderful.
Even to the extent that in Reverend Doe's office, Abigail had to hold me by my legs and ask me to impart, because she's never felt this kind of oil before.
That's wonderful.
I am not saying this to brag, but I'm saying this to the glory of God, because God has indeed brought me far.
Has brought you this far.
To the extent that somebody could kneel down and hold my leg and ask me to impact by force. It can be connected to Jacob at the water with God, asking him that, God, if you don't bless me, I won't let go. He held God and he said, God, if you don't bless me, I won't let go. Are you getting me? So that was how the scene was like. Abigail held me very, very hard, and she was like, what they came to tell her last year about our worship service is truly real, and therefore she has encountered this. And for that matter, she doesn't want to leave the church without that impartation. And so I had no choice than to impart the little that God have given to me to her. Okay. And it was great. A few testimonies here and there. Mama Prophetess Victoria and Mama Gifty, Daddy Christian Wilmot, I love you so much. You have been great support, and you have believed in my ministry all this while, and I know that God is up to something.
Okay, so there's a great testimony he has shared with us right here on the Urban Mix. But let's do it this way. Talking of mentorship, you made mention of Joe Mettle, and if I remember clearly, during one of the album launches from Joe Mettle, you were there on the red carpet, and the MC on the red carpet made, after having some interactions with you guys, he made you sing an a cappella of Joe Mettle's song. And in fact, everyone on the red carpet, was full of emotions. It was spirit-filled, actually. I know you love Joe Mettle a lot, and you've had certain encounters with him as well. But on this show, I want you to do something for us whilst we officially sign off the program. So we have everything set. Okay, to all our viewers right here, we say a very thank you to all of you for joining us right here on the Urban Mix Show, having a great interview with Minister Robert Sakite. Remember to follow the show. Remember to follow our channel on social media, on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, YouTube at Ghana Streams. And remember to also tell a friend, share this video to all. Come and watch and enjoy the testimony. Get impacted with the ministry of Minister Robert Sakiti. So now to Minister, the floor is yours.
We give you glory, we give you honor, we give you praise, we give you worship. For such the Father seeks, they that will worship him in spirit and in truth. Yes, they that will worship him in spirit and in truth. That is what you and I are called to do as ministers. That is what you and I are called to do as human beings. And as human beings as we are, you don't want God to command stones to worship in your place, but you want him to command his glory through you to worship. But the Bible says that wherever the presence of the Lord is, there is fullness of joy, there is liberty, there is deliverance. As we lift up worship unto the Lord this afternoon, know that liberty is coming your way. Know that deliverance is coming your way. Know that freedom is coming your way. Yeah. Ayayina midimonya me. Yabra metiasi na meyera diaye. Samadu enia ye no enyo nyamuka osuru hi ayeyi na midimo nyami Abraham jasi na meyera diaye Samadu eni aye nyo eni nyaminka osuru hi mama nyina yentwe fa won satu nyina eyi radiaye onya kupon Pesawa ni onya Fawu satu nyina Eyi eratia ye Onya kupon Pesawa Enti fawu satu nyina Eyi eratia ye Onya kupon Besawe nyonya Fawon satudina Hey onya miaye Onya gopon Yeho wanku Nami limunu Onu na ye kron kron Yehovah ko nami nimno Onu na ye Yehovah ye kron kron Hey You are no ni kron kron Ahun till full Yeneni that's so Oh no no yeah Kron kron Hey Ahun till full Yeni that's so Oh no yeah Kron kron
hold